Art Collins here. Welcome to Volatile Markets 2020. I do most of my trading and use most of my indicators within the day session, 8:30 a.m. to 3:15 p.m. Central Time. I have done some work, though, looking at the Globex and how it might impact or give you a clue as to what's going to happen in the day sessions. Here's a real simple one, okay, we're going to look at right now. First, let's review the session hours in the major stock-related index futures. They're the same for all of them, the Dow, the Russell, the S&P, NASDAQ, and mid-cap. They start with an evening session. It's actually prior day from what the day that they're identifying the session as. So in other words, the Monday session would start at 5 p.m. on Sunday. Tuesday session would start at 5 p.m. on Monday, etc. Anyway, the sessions start the previous 5 p.m. Central Time and continue through the night, through the 8:30 regular session open, and become merged with the day session that ends at 3:15 p.m. Central. 3:15, they're down for 15 minutes. They reopen at 3:30 and trade till 4 o'clock, a little half-hour mini session. So the Monday through Thursdays reopen at 5 p.m. for the Globex session, while the Friday's 4 p.m. close is the last trade of the week. Now, an obvious thing to look at is the 8:30 open relative to the prior 5 o'clock open. If the 8:30 open was higher than the 5 o'clock open, would we guess that you'd have a bias to the long side or the short side? I think most of us would say, well, if there's strength and it's higher than the 5 o'clock prior day open, you'd probably have a better bet going long than short, and vice versa if it's lower than the prior 5 o'clock open. So let's just make a little simple system out of it. If the 8:30 a.m. close is higher than the prior day 5 p.m. official open, go long the market, and if it's lower, we go short. We hold the trade all day. Exit at the 3:15 p.m. Central Time close. This is a 10-year study. Again, just trying to show you a bias here. There's no slippage commission in here. So don't think that you can trade this and quit your job. But it is a bias nonetheless. And we look to all biases as potential tools in our toolbox. Respectable net profits, so return on accounts. But again, every market is pointing in the same direction. Now, when we went over the sessions, obviously the Sunday night to Monday regular day session is going to be different than the other 4 days of the week. For one thing, not only are you considering the movement overnight, but you get considerable pent-up demand for the 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, that the market doesn't trade. So you got that going into the 5 o'clock open, and then you got, maybe follow-through, maybe reversal going on in the overnight Globex sessions. So that, to me, makes what's going to happen on Monday different in some respect. Maybe if we just do the Monday trade only, it'll improve our results. And again, I'll give you some justification for it. I always like to see some justification. I don't want to just willy-nilly do something just to make the numbers look better. All days provide overnight price movement, but Tuesday through Friday provides little price action between the previous day close and the 5 p.m. opens, less than 2 hours. So you wouldn't expect to see a lot of gaps on Tuesdays through Fridays, previous closes to next open, 24-hour open, right? But Monday, you could see sizable gaps. So you'd have that pent-up weekend price pressure as well as the overnight price movement. And that difference provides a credible reason for especially good Monday performance. So will we see it? We definitely see it. Our net profits are smaller, but we're only trading 1/5 as often. Return on accounts go up significantly. And even more interesting is the average trade. Again, this is a study that I don't include the slippage commission. Take $10, $20 off. You got something approaching a viable system. So your takeaways: Globex can offer keys on how to day trade the regular session markets. Filters could be valid if you understand the drivers behind them. And consider the Sunday through Monday activity to be different than the other 4 days of the week. It's here. I'm very excited to present Beating the Financial Futures Market, the 2020 Almanac. It's full of stats, a few systems, and a lot of day trading ideas. Check it out on Amazon. And again, I appreciate you joining me.